YouTube, what's up? I have a tier list for you. It's Marvel. I'm very excited about this. I hope you guys enjoy it. The video starts out quick, so after this ends, it's gonna go really fast. Let me know in the comments what you guys think should go in each tier. I hope you guys have a great day. Civil War is an S tier, man. It is so good. We get introduced Spider-Man and we get introduced Black Panther based off of my memory, and also a little late for this one. Spoilers for every movie going forward for now. Civil War was awesome, man. We gotta see why Captain America. Okay, this is gonna go into another movie here. We gotta see why Captain America couldn't lift the hammer in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Is because he was keeping the secret of him knowing that Bucky killed Iron Man's parents. Crazy. That was the reason why he couldn't lift up the hammer, so to say. I don't know how true that is, but knowing me, like watching that movie and then seeing that was absolutely crazy. Iron Man kind of went ham at the end, but Bucky just had to help Cap, and Cap's strength, man, crazy. Now moving forward, Avengers, first movie here. It's an S tier, man. This was the beginning, man. This movie so good. I love Marvel so much, man. We gotta see the original Avengers here: Black Widow, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Cap. I think that's the original, right? I could be missing one. Man, that movie is so good. We get to see Avengers Tower. We get to see Loki in the beginning. Nick Fury. I mean, dude, it's such a good movie, and it sets up obviously for the future that we didn't know at the time. It's an S tier movie, man. It's original, I would say, so S tier. Age of Ultron now. This is where some people may disagree, and my tier list. I'm gonna say it's an A tier movie, just based off of my S tier movies that I have in my head that I already know about, what I'm gonna grade. They're not this on the same level as Age of Ultron, or Age of Ultron is on the same level as them. So I would say it's an A tier movie. I wasn't really disappointed. We gotta meet Wanda, Scarlet Witch. We figure out later, and her brother, fast dude, and just how we gotta see how Iron Man dealt with how when he went to the portal up in Avengers. We also gotta see Vision. Forgot about that. He was born then, and I mean honestly, I thought Ultron was a pretty good enemy. I thought it was pretty cool. Going on, Infinity War. Now this statement is hard for me to say. I don't know if this is my favorite movie or if Endgame is my favorite movie because we waited so long for Endgame. But I will say one thing: Infinity War surprised me so much because when I went into that movie theater, I had no expectations. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't listen to any theories. I went in that movie and I did not expect the good guys to lose because in all other Marvel movies, they always won, and I kind of just expected it. This movie is an S tier, man, and I don't know if I would had to put a movie above all these movies. Infinity War may be up top. Endgame, it's so hard though, because Endgame is Endgame, man. If you know, you know.
I don't even know.
It's so long for Endgame, but when I just went in that movie theater, man, I just did not expect the good guys to lose. And goodness, this movie is so good, man. They did such a good job of like Thanos getting every single stone. Now Endgame, it's not even. I don't even have to say much. We got the ending we want. I didn't like how they used Hulk. How he was like a human and basically Hulk's form. I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of stupid. I wish Hulk was the way he was in Avengers. That was cool. R.I.P. Black Widow and Iron Man, and then Cap got a happily ever after story. S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. Guardians of the Galaxy. I watched this the other day. I didn't finish all the way through because it was super late and I was tired. But I didn't know that we saw Thanos in that movie. Like they show him. I was like, dang, I didn't know that. And I feel like this is the first time we actually see him besides the end credit scene in Avengers. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is an A tier movie, man. I mean, they all went to the same prison, and that's how they kind of joined because they escaped with each other. I think that's an A tier movie, man. It was great, and they didn't know the stone was what it was at the time. A tier movie, man. A tier movie. The enemy in that is, or the villain, really cool too in that movie. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, this is with his dad, and he turned out our Star-Lord's dad. But I know for a fact I like the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 better than the 2. So I gotta put it in the B tier. And if you don't like it, well, too bad. Now, Ant-Man. I just don't think Ant-Man is like Paul Rudd. I'm a huge fan, bro. Huge fan. I just, I think C tier, man. It's not Paul Rudd or any of the actors, actresses. I just don't think Ant-Man is that cool of a superhero. Continuing on, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now I like the actual movie and the enemy, and I think her name is Ghost in the movie. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But the end credit scene in this movie, Endgame, yeah. The end credit scene in that movie was fantastic. If I could base it off of the end credit scene, I would. It'd be a freaking probably B. But same, I just don't think it was the greatest C tier. Okay. Doctor Strange, huge fan of Doctor Strange, man. A tier movie. I mean, phenomenal. This was one of the last Marvel movies I saw. Like him getting in the car crash, I had no idea. I had no knowledge about Doctor Strange before seeing this movie. Iron Man 1, man, where really everything began. S tier. It's an original, bro. S tier movie. I like all the Iron Man movies, to be honest. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. I want you guys to leave in the comments. What is your favorite trilogy between these Marvel superheroes? Iron Man, Thor, Cap, Spider-Man. Out of those four, let me know which one's your favorite. I'll tell you it's really hard between Cap and Spider-Man, but Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, so I'm a little biased, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts about that. But Iron Man, man, it was the beginning of it all. That's all I'm going to say. S tier movie. S tier. I love it. Spider-Man Homecoming. I didn't know what to expect, and when I was there and watching it, I was like, dang, this is what it is. And then after rewatching the second time, I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty good. I think it's an A tier movie. I do. I personally love the story in it, and Vulture was a good villain in it. So I think, and I mean, freaking Iron Man was in it too. Helped Peter realize that he didn't need a suit, can't rely on a suit. So I liked it, man. I am biased though, so A tier for me. Now, Spider-Man Far From Home. It's an A tier movie. It's an A tier. I'm gonna put in the A, but Mysterio did a great job, man. Great villain in that movie. They get these glasses in it. Mysterio gets it from his Peter, and his little bots and the effects that he can do with them. I mean, crazy. It was crazy, man. A tier for me. Okay, Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, do we really have to even talk about this? I mean, 3 Spider-Man, bro. This is what we all wanted. We all wanted to see him in the same film, and we got it. I can't tell you enough how excited I was when I saw Andrew Garfield go to that portal and then Tobey after. I wish I could relive that. And that scene of them swinging, oh my gosh, goosebumps every time. And then them landing. Fantastic movie, man. I love it. I love it. Okay, Black Panther here. A tier movie. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, man. He was such a good Black Panther. And in Civil War, he was introduced, and I knew nothing about Black Panther. And he did a good job. Michael B. Jordan did a good job. It's just sad. I wish the one that's coming out this year, he would be in it. R.I.P., man. A tier movie, though. A tier movie. Captain Marvel. Okay. I feel like this movie gets a lot of hate because she's so strong, and we knew nothing about her until before Endgame came out, right? It was kind of just thrown at us. I didn't know it was releasing at all until, I don't know, a couple of weeks before it was coming out. I was like, oh, dang. And the only part I didn't like about it, I thought the film was rushed. just to get it out there before Endgame, and that's the only problem I had with it. And I may change this later in time after looking at my list here, but as of right now, I'm putting C. I think it's a C tier just because they rushed it. I actually like Captain Marvel. I thought she was a cool superhero, cool backstory. I just thought they rushed the film. Now Black Widow, man, look at my A tier. I just don't think I can put it up there with the A tier. I can put it in the B tier though. I think Black Widow was a good movie. I like her dad in it. Obviously, he's from Stranger Things. I'm a big Stranger Things fan. It's coming out in a couple weeks, volume 2. But we get to see her sister. What's her? Elena, I think is her name. Them two fighting in her apartment at first, and then them two bonding and building that relationship. And then unfortunately, in scene, I thought we were gonna see Black Widow and maybe her come back. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But we did see something interesting, and then that kind of went into Hawkeye. B tier though, B tier. Shang-Chi, man, now this might get people really going. I love Shang-Chi, bro. I watched that movie as soon as it got back on Disney Plus. I watched it again. I mean, it's an A-tier movie, bro. That was incredible. Their stunts, like their fighting scenes. The villain in Hulk, the very first one in like 2004, you see him in the little fighting ring, and then Wong brings him back to wherever he's supposed to go. The 10 rings when Shang-Chi gets them. Oh, it's so cool, man. I love that. I love that movie, man. It's good. Eternals. Now, I didn't know anything about Eternals. I thought this was another film that was kind of just like brought up like Captain Marvel was. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know what to expect. And at first, I was so upset about this film after seeing it for the first time. And then I read reviews about it and like watched it again. I was like, okay. And also, when I went to see the movie, we saw the first 20 minutes, and then something happened to the movie. So then they had to like go back, and we had to rewatch the first 20 minutes. I was like, goodness gracious, I was so tired that night. I remember too. Anyways, I think this is a B-tier movie, and you realize what Thanos did in this film. You realize why he did what he did in this film. It's a B-tier. It's a B-tier movie. WandaVision was the first TV show we got to watch, and a lot of my friends didn't like it. And, I'm a big Marvel fan, man. WandaVision, I have to give it an A tier. I do. It could potentially be S tier, but I have, maybe another show that goes up there. WandaVision was fantastic, man. At first, I wasn't too sure on what they were doing with, like, I think it was the decades they were going by, like, I don't know when they started, 40s or 50s, and then kind of went 60s, 70s, 80s, and so on and so on. The little clues and like finding out why Wanda was doing what she did. Seeing Monica like get into the bubble, and then seeing her getting her superpowers at the end, and then we didn't really know what happened to her since. So kind of low profile since then. And then White Vision, interesting to see where he's at. But I think the show is an A-tier movie. It was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. Great movie. Show. Falcon and Winter Soldier. This one's a little bit tough. I thought I guess I had too much of a high expectations. I had too high expectations for it, and maybe that's why I didn't like it as much as WandaVision. The villain or the enemies in it were just like But I will say, like, Bucky's and Falcon's relationship, seeing them two like argue in the beginning, not kind of get along, and then towards the end they get along, and seeing Falcon, get used to the shield and stuff like that. And I will say, Falcon suit, sick, man. It is so cool. I'm gonna give it a B tier. B tier. Iron Man 2. Now this is the one with to do with electricity with us, right? That dude is pretty sick. I gotta give it an A tier. I think A tier. It's not S. I just don't think it's that like matches those movies up there. But I thought it was a pretty good. We see Black Widow. We get introduced to her, I think, in this film for the first time. And I'm pretty sure there's a scene in it where we see Elon Musk, which is kind of cool too. Loki. This show, man. Wow. I have to put it up there. I have to. Loki is an S tier show, man. It might be the best show that Marvel has done so far. I mean, there's only so much, I understand, but S tier show, we get to see Loki gets to see why, like how he died and what happened in Endgame. We saw him, like the TVA, get him and take him to the TVA. And that, I mean, dude, the whole show was so good. I was so ready for like week after week to watch it. Kang the Conqueror, we get to see him introduced, and towards the end, at the very end of Loki, we see his statue, and freaking Owen Wilson was like, "Who are you?" And no one remembers Loki. Oh my gosh, dude, it's so good, and that's kind of why No Way Home kind of happened. I think it was because that the girl Loki, I don't know her name by heart right now, she killed Kang, and that's what he wanted, and now they have to face the consequences. Goodness, that show is so good. I recommend that show so much. Such a good show. What if I wasn't too big, okay, on I'm not too like big on animations, right? I'm not an anime person. I know, guys, whatever. But I will say, what if it was an A? I like the ideas of like them going, just, playing around with stuff. Black Panther to be Star-Lord. We see Agent Carter, in the first episode, and then like the zombie episode. Goodness, I don't like zombies. But stuff like that, and then the very last scene where they all kind of work together, even with the dude that illustrates the whole shows. I don't know his name, but like all that was great. I loved it. I thought it was A tier. Now, Hawkeye. I'm gonna put it same tier list as a Falcon Winter Soldier. I thought we were gonna see more, I guess. And I know probably all of us want to see it, and I'm biased, right? There was one episode after No Way Home, right? One episode. And if they put the scene of No Way Home, the ending scene of him swinging with his new suit, there's a Christmas tree, right? There's a Christmas tree, and Hawkeye was located in New York City, right? If they put that scene of Spider-Man like helping them out, I would have probably put the show in the A tier just based off of that. I mean, like I said, I'm biased, right? Spider-Man, my favorite superhero, but I will say Kate Bishop and her story, great. Yelena coming in, part of the show, fantastic. We got to see Echo introduced, and I believe they're coming out with the show based off of her, which is awesome. And then we saw Kingpin towards the end of it. Sick. I did like the show. I don't think it was A tier, just based on all the movies and shows in the A tier column row. My bad. But I did like it. I will say Hawkeye is a B tier. A or S, man. I'm gonna be biased too. I think Spider-Man is my first, and Moon Knight is my second favorite superhero. Moon Knight was freaking so good, bro. I had no idea what Moon Knight was, what his powers were. Had no idea. Oscar Isaac, dude, you should win everything for this acting you did in this show. Phenomenal. We get to see Lila and her getting her superpowers towards the end. The whole history, Egyptian culture, all of that was great, man. The end scene of that show was sick. Khonshu was great in this film. The scene where he comes like towards the elevator, and then Oscar Isaac like getting scared in the elevator, and the grandma or the elderly lady was funny. Arthur Harrow, I believe, fantastic job as a villain. And the scene or the episode of him in like the mental illness place, and like them going to the boat, that I think it was episode 5. Episode 5 was crazy. At first I was like, what is going on? I was so lost. Episode 6 helped me out a little bit, and then doing some research helped. That whole film is great, man. I would recommend Loki and Moon Knight absolutely, without a doubt. In WandaVision, I mean, those three, you could replace 1, 2, and 3 with them. It is so good. I love Moon Knight though. Great film. Iron Man 3. I feel like Iron Man 3 kind of gets some hate here. Honestly, my tier list, I think it's an A tier movie. I do. I just rewatched it the other day. I thought it was pretty good. It's an A tier movie though. Go rewatch it. Hulk, first one of really the whole Marvel universe here. It just wasn't the best. But I will say, like I said before in Shang-Chi, you see that villain in Shang-Chi again, Hopefully, we see it later throughout the Marvel universe because that was pretty cool to see. Thor, the first one. I thought Thor was pretty good, honestly. A lot of people seem to hate it. I think Thor is a B tier movie. I based this off of the A tier list. I don't or A tier row. I don't think I can put it there. We find out where like Loki kind of came from, like the ice people. I don't know their actual names. B tier movie. B tier. Now Thor in the Dark World. I think this is a C tier movie, based off of like the first movie. You know, kind of had better expectations for it. I just that maybe me. I thought, you know, Loki died. Obviously, he's kind of done that throughout the films. Thor Ragnarok. This is a S tier movie. This is phenomenal. We see, you know, where Hulk went. Is it Valkyrie, I believe? See her, and then we find out about Thor's sister and the Rock dude. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he's hilarious. The first Captain America. I don't have to say much, man. I don't. S tier movie, fantastic. I mean, him diving on the grenade without him knowing that it wasn't going to explode, crazy. And then him pulling out the pin with the flagpole, and then him getting the flag, and then taking the ride. That's funny, hilarious. And then obviously we see him get his, you know, buffness, speed and strength and all that. Phenomenal film. S tier, man. S tier. Same thing. Winter Soldier. Find out about Bucky. We thought Bucky died in the first one. See him return. Evil. Cap kind of helps him try to get towards the good side. Takes a little while. Nah, I'm just playing with you. It's a C tier though, man. I thought so. WandaVision, Scarlet Witch's part, great, fantastic. She did a great job. The Illuminati, I love the idea, right? I understand where they're going with it. Killing them in 10 minutes was a stupid idea, though. It wasn't even 10, it was probably 5. Stupid. The transitions in that movie, not the best. I like America Chavez, but I had to ask my friend that was sitting next to me, like, who is this person right when the film starts? Because I was like, who is this? She's just popping up out of nowhere. I didn't know of her until my friend was like, oh, it's America Chavez. I was like, okay, good to know. Didn't know that. I maybe personally had higher expectations. A lot of people say they rated it low because of the not that many cameos. I just expected, I guess, way too much. It's called a multiverse of madness. The only part we really see them travel throughout the multiverse is them going through each single one slowly, or not slowly, fast. And then they travel through maybe 3 at most. Doctor Strange didn't even fight back when Wanda was trying to get through to their whatever they were at. And then America Chavez couldn't figure out her superpowers till the very end when she really needed to help him out, and magic happens. So like I said, I guess I had higher expectations. I think it's a C tier movie. I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list. I know it took too long for it to come out. I apologize for that. Let me know in the comments about what you think should go rearrange. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day. Stay positive. I hope to see you in the next one.